Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee from Lever's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you probably the easiest 3-ingredient peanut butter cookies ever, and I'm going to show you how easier they are to make. So I went shopping yesterday and I found out I didn't actually buy many snacks yesterday. So I decided I'm going to make some delicious peanut butter cookies. These are just so easy to make and they use literally 3 ingredients. So the first ingredient we're going to need is we're going to need some just traditional peanut butter. These ingredients you can have in your pantry, so it's going to be really easy to make. Anyone can probably make them. And then we're going to also need 1 egg. And then we're also going to need a sweetener. So for this recipe, you usually need a cup of sugar. I think a cup of sugar is overkill, so I'm doing half a cup of sugar. Now, you can change these to a granular sweetener if you want. So I'm using a brown sugar replacement sugar. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but it's a brown sugar, and I think it's going to be delicious with it. Now, if you use a brown sugar, you're going to find out that you're going to get like a softer cookie, and if you use white sugar, it's be a more crispy, delicious cookie. So I'm going to use brown sugar today and give that a go. And it is just so easy to make. All we're going to do is going to mix these ingredients together, and then basically bang it in the oven, and we're done. So I'm just using your average, your no stir peanut butter. This does have your vegetable oil and your sugar and everything in it as well. So that's what I'm using today. You probably could use your real peanut butters, but you're gonna have to give them a really good stir to make sure those oils have actually combined in it completely properly. So what we need is a cup of our peanut butter. I'm just using a smooth variety. And what's great about this is it's grain-free as well. So if you're not doing any grain, you're doing keto or something like that, this is a great recipe. And just change it with the sugar is just makes it so easy. So I have our 1 cup of peanut butter there. Believe me, that's not going to go to waste there. And then I'm going to add our half cup of sugar or sweetener. So as I said, I'm using our brown sugar replacement sugar here. One thing you do need to keep in mind is if you're using like a erythritol replacement, it is going to recrystallize after they cool. So you are going to have kind of like a grainy texture. It doesn't really mind me, but if you don't like that, maybe try something like Elias or something like that. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to stir all this sweetener into here. As I said, you can just use normal sugar if you really want to. I try cut down on my sugar as much as I can. So now most of that is all stirred in. We're going to add our 1 egg. And you can add so many other things to this. You can add chocolate chips. I think they'll get absolutely amazing. I tried to get some chocolate chips, but they're quite expensive. So we're just going to get this really good stir until all of this egg has all combined into it. And it's going to take a bit of work. You can use beaters to do this. I just didn't like the idea of cleaning beaters at this stage. All right, so now this is all combined now. I'm going to put it into the fridge for about 10 minutes. That's just going to help all the oils in that peanut butter to actually solidify. And it's going to make it easier for us to actually put onto our tray. So while that's in the fridge, I've got my oven preheating. So I've got that set to 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Or if you've got an electric or fan forced oven, I'd reduce that to 170 degrees Celsius or 325 because they are going to cook a little bit faster. I always find that you do need to cook it a little bit higher in a gas oven. All right, so this has been in the fridge for about 10 minutes. It's firmed up quite a bit, so let's scoop this onto a tray and get it into the oven. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit of oil onto my tray. I use peach trays for absolutely everything. Love one of these refillable oil sprayers, no propellants or anything, fantastic. And then what we're going to do is going to put about 1 tablespoon bits of the batter, it's more batter than actual dough, onto our tray. All right, I'm just going to grab another tray. So I got 11 out of this. If you use that full cup of sugar, you probably get more actual cookies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten these down with a fork. So we're going to go one way. And it's actually quite malleable now, so you could actually probably roll this up if you really want to worry about them being absolutely perfect. I'm going to do a crisscross. And now we're going to cook these in the oven for about 10 minutes until they look done. And then we're going to take them out and let them cool. So it is late, but it's calling me for my last coffee. So we're going to have a coffee with these cookies. Now, for me, there is no lighter out or anything. It's just making a good bloody coffee. So that looks pretty good. That's going to go great with our cookies. Right, so I've had these in the oven for about 12 minutes and they're done now. You can see there's a bit of brownness and everything around them. Now, one thing you want to do is you don't want to touch these right now. So we want to wait till they have completely cooled and then they'll actually firm up. All right, so you can see they're firmed up beautifully. They are very fragile still, and that's just because there is no flour or anything to hold them together. So just keep that in mind, completely normal. So firstly, I need a sip of my coffee. This is my last coffee for the day. I know it's going to go beautiful with this. That's been the best coffee I've made all day. Absolutely amazing. So let's give one of these cookies a go. Absolutely delicious. And if you love peanut butter, you're going to absolutely love these. And don't forget, they're grain-free. There's no flour in these. And also, packed full of protein as well. So absolutely amazing. So hope you give these ones a go. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.